Inktober 2025 starts in just 1 month. On the day that this video comes out, September 1st, the prompts are being made public. But what is Inktober? If you've never heard of it before, it is a month-long drawing challenge. It's not particularly a competition. It is a challenge that we as a community have the ability to partake in and to involve ourselves in. Each year, the people that are responsible for putting on Inktober release a prompt list. This is a list that gives you one prompt for each day of the month to work on. And of course, as the name might imply, this takes place in October each year. The prompts are fairly loose, and as the entire purpose of the challenge is simply to get you drawing for a month straight with ink, it doesn't particularly matter if you stick to the prompts. I enjoy the prompts, particularly because they force me to do things that I wouldn't necessarily do otherwise. And I think that's really good for me as an artist, and probably is going to be a good thing for you as well. So whether you've tried Inktober every year since its inception, or this is the first you're ever hearing of it, I would encourage you this year to participate in Inktober, or at least give it a good try. I didn't finish all of the prompts on the first couple years, and yet it was still a really beneficial thing for me. So, being that it is September 1st when this video is coming out, let's go ahead and take a look at the prompts together. And let's see what kind of things we're going to be getting into this year. I am looking at these now in real time with you, so these are not anything that I've seen on my own. All right, so number 1 is mustache. Then we have weave, crown, murky, deer, pierce, starfish, reckless, heavy, sweep, sting, shredded, drink, trunk, ragged, blunder, ornate, deal, arctic, rivals, blast, button, firefly, rowdy, inferno, puzzling, onion, skeletal, lesson, vacant, and award. And as you can see at the bottom, it does say, please don't share until September 1st. I'm actually recording this a week early because I get access to these a week early because I'm subscribed to their newsletter. So those are the prompts for this year. There are several in there right away that I'm looking at and I'm going, I don't know exactly how I'm going to use this. I tend to try to make all of my prompts weave together into a story of some kind, either involving the same kind of characters or literally the exact same characters who are partaking in some kind of adventure. This year, I believe I'm going to be working with robots. Last year, I worked with my character Andorra, and she went on all kinds of fantastic and mystical journeys. So when I look at mustache, for example, I'm going, how do I put a mustache on a robot? But I'm already coming up with ideas. Some of these are pretty standard. Weave and crown are pretty straightforward, but then you get things like murky and pierce and reckless and heavy, all of which can be highly metaphoric. There's a lot that can happen that way. Murky could be a scene that is difficult to understand. A character may be standing in the midst of a battlefield. It could also be characters wading through a swamp and they don't know what lies before them and they're going to have to figure all of this out. There's a lot that you can play with there. Some of them are very straightforward, like starfish. What else can you do with a starfish or a firefly or an onion? Well, I'm going to try probably to build robots that are reminiscent of those things and play with those ideas and see what happens. So as I'm kind of chewing on these prompts, I'm trying to see if there's any consistencies. Last year's list of prompts really seemed to be involved with travel, and I'm not sure that this year's prompts are particularly focused in any direction. Maybe I will do some more reading and I will figure it out. But as of right now, I'm looking at them and they all seem to be kind of just their own thing. And that's totally fine. So whether you've ever tried this before or not, I would encourage you this year to take a plunge, to try Inktober 2025. Don't beat yourself up if you don't get through every single prompt. Maybe start a little bit early. I am certainly going to start early, particularly because I will record the content and I will have it up here on the channel, hopefully as everything unfolds, though reality sometimes can be fairly brutal and can push you out of alignment with whatever it was that you desired. Last year, I just barely finished all of them on the last day, and I ended up combining a lot of the prompts together. Some of the pieces I did took 6 or 7 hours, and so having all of the prompts coming together, like 7 prompts in a single drawing, just made my life easier. As you can tell by my talking about it and the examples that I've shown on the screen, you'll see that it can be a lot of different things. And really, at the end of the day, it's all about the community coming together and doing this, and the joy that comes from daily drawing and investing time into something. But the last thing that I want to leave you with before I end this video is the fact that Inktober has by and large been when I've seen the largest amount of growth in myself as an artist. In fact, Inktober 2022 and 2023 are two of the big things that brought me back into art. Because prior to that, I was teaching it full time and I wasn't doing a lot of art on my own. And so sitting down and working with a list of prompts that was given to me by someone else, and I had to conjure up the ideas and work through those things, was really productive for me as an artist. And I found a lot of growth in that period. So I hope you will give it a chance, and I hope you enjoy it as you move through it. I am going to leave a link to our Discord server below. We do have a group of people who works together on things like this, so we can share our planning and the pieces and how they're coming together and those kinds of things. Sometimes these kinds of things are just way more fun when you have other people that you're doing it alongside. Well, as always, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. I hope this is illuminating and helpful, and I hope you will give Inktober 2025 a try. And if you decide that you're going to, I would encourage you to subscribe, because I'm going to have content throughout the entire month that's going to be tied into that, and there's a lot in the backlog about how to draw with ink if you want some tips. All right, have a good one, y'all. See you soon.